So we are discussing about the lifelines of national economy. We will be talking about India. So a human being, just take an example of a human being. What is there to send the information and the blood and the food, etc.? There are nerves, there are sensory nerves, and there are so many things that transform or transportation is being done so that the body works properly. In the same way, when we talk about a nation, then the lifeline, that is the life-giving lines of national economy or nation's economy, that is money, are the transport, are the means of transport. So we will be talking about the means of transport. So this means of transport can be divided. The transport can run on land, it can go on water, it can also go on air. So these means of transport, when we talk about land, it can be roadways, that is on the road, railways on the rail tracks, and pipelines. This is a new mode. Actually, in this railway and roadways, something is moving that is taking the stuff or human beings. But in pipeline, there is a pipe in which various in different forms, liquid and gaseous form, we have different things like natural gas is going, etc. When we talk about water, now this is a very good mode if it is available. So it can be inland, that is through rivers, etc. When it goes to sea, we call it as overseas. When we don't take in this land and water, land especially, the land is involved. In water, the water surface is involved. But when we talk about air, then we are talking about the transportation of human being and the product or the stuff in the air, from the air, using the air. So it is domestic airways, it can be international airways. Domestic airways means those which are governed or which are held by public, that is government. And domestic airways are also with private airlines like Jet Airways we have, then we have Indigo, etc. Then these are inside the country, domestic airways. But when we talk about transportation of people and stuff, that is goods, from one country to another, then we call it these air or airways as between two countries as international airways, right? So we'll start with the roadways. India has one of the largest road networks in the world. And how can we view the importance? First of all, the roadways are quite cheaper. The construction cost of making a road is quite cheaper and lower than making a railway line or setting up of the railway stations. So the cost is less as compared to railway lines. And then in the dissected and undulating topography, that is, if the topography is like this, then also we can form roads. We can form roads like this. So in undulated and dissected topography, because we cannot make trains here or railway tracks here, it is very difficult. If you go to Darjeeling, etc., Shimla, where the trains are running, there are small meter gauge railways there, not the big one, which is broad gauge. So roads can traverse or can be made on dissected and undulating topography. And then if you talk about slope, if there is slope, that is the gradient of slope is quite higher, then roads can also be built there. They can negotiate this higher, we can say, elevation or gradient of slopes. That is why they can even go to, or we have roads up till Himalayas. That is in the terrain which is difficult to reach because of the elevation or height, the roads can be made there. And when we talk about few people, if few people are going, then road is the best option. So it is an economical operation or option of transportation for few people. And if the goods, that is the cargo or whatever goods has to be sent for the shorter distances, then the roadways is the best. And then if you're living, say here, I don't know where do you live, but the roads may come here, then it can go like this and it can come to your doorstep. That means it provides this may be a bigger road, this may be a smaller, this can be even smaller. So it provides door-to-door services, roadways. And it is actually a feeder. Means if there is a ship and the goods have to be loaded, it has to go somewhere, or some aircraft is there, or some railway is there, then the roads are the feeder. That means the road will go here, then road will go here. So it's a feeder. So it is a feeder, or you can say help to other modes of transport, because they are actually providing the link between the railway station, the seaports, and also the airports. So we have different type of roads or roadways, and we can classify them in by different names. So we start with, I'll show you all these, but before that, let me just give you an idea that we have first the super highways. These are super highways, 6-lane highways. 6 lane means 6 roads will be there. Means 6 vehicles can move at a time on that road. So this is called as golden quadrilateral super highways. So our government has launched a major road development project, and this is to link these 4 major cities of India: Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai and Mumbai. Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai and Chennai, right? So these are first let me start with the Delhi to Kolkata, then, or you can say Delhi to Mumbai, Mumbai to Chennai, Chennai to Kolkata, and Kolkata to Mumbai again. So these are 6-lane superways. Then we have 2 corridors, 2 big roads, the north-south corridors from Srinagar, that is the top city of India, that is on the north side, Jammu and Kashmir, and the down south, you can say the down south lowest part where we have Kanyakumari. So there is a north-south corridor, and then we have the east-west corridor, that is along the latitude from Silchar, which is in Assam, to Porbandar, which is in Gujarat. Now, what is the idea of these kind of super highways and these corridors? The main thing is these cities are very important, and the stretch is also very important. You have to go from north to south, or from east to west. There is a lot of stake which is involved in people being transported and the goods being transported. So we need to reduce the time and the distance. So the major objective of these super highways and these corridors is to reduce the time and distance. And these highway projects, as I just told you, indicated you, these are implemented by NHAI, that is National Highway Authority of India, NHAI. So national highways, we are talking about the super highways we just saw. Then we have national highways. Now these national highways, like extreme parts of the country, they link extreme parts of the country, and they are laid and maintained by the CPWD, Central Public Works Department. So national highways, as you see here, these are, let me take you there. National highways, they are made to link extreme parts of the country, right? CPWD, like I just said, the north, south and east-west directions. And the historic Sher Shah Suri Marg, this is called as the number 1 NH number 1, National Highway number 1. Then this Sher Shah Suri Marg is between Delhi to Amritsar. You can see this an expressway of Ahmedabad, Vadodara. Okay, so in this book, it is given that the National Highway 7 is the longest. NH7 is the longest, and the kilometer is 2369 between Banaras and Kanyakumari via Jalpur, Nagpur, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Madurai. And I'll just tell you that this has changed. So I'll give you the latest idea. What is it? Because it is NH44 right now. Then we have 2 more of these, that is the NH8, and then we have NH15. So NH15 is covering most of the Rajasthan, and then we have various other cities like Mumbai, Delhi. They are connected by the National Highway 8 as well. So you have to be very careful about these names, because it is state. Now state highways means in the state. So if you have a state, say you have a state called Uttarakhand, Now you have Dehradun, say somewhere here. Now this Dehradun has to be, because there are so many districts here. So the headquarters of the districts, all the headquarters of the district has to be connected to this capital. So this is called the state highway. So state highway link the state capital, which is the Rajdhani, with different district headquarters. In the same district, they are constructed and maintained by PWD. That is, the state does it. Say I am talking about Uttarakhand. So Uttarakhand State Public Works Department, PWD, will do it for state and union territory. Then coming to the district roads. What are these district roads? They are maintained by Zilla Parishad. And now if you see that you have a headquarter here. Say I'm just taking an example, Kotdwar, say example. Now all the roads of this district has to be connected from various parts to this headquarter. This is called the district road. So the road connects the district headquarters, that is, say Kotdwar, with other places of this district. So I'm talking about a single district, and the headquarter has to be connected from the other parts. And this is the district roads. Along with this, we have different other roads like the rural roads, which link the rural roads, that is Gramin area and villages, with the towns. So now we have, say, big town here. Here is some rural villages. So they also need to be connected. So this rural area connected to a town, and these are called the rural roads. And this has got a very good impetus, or you can say, a thrust under the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. That means all the Gramin area or the rural area has to be connected to the towns, or every gaon, every rural area has to be connected by certain roads. This is under Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. Then India is having around 7,500, sea coast, that is the sea line. But apart from that, India is also having various boundaries with different countries, especially the northern region and northern western region and northern eastern region, right? So if you talk about the topmost part of India, then here we have India, and here we have Pakistan. Here we have India, and here we have China. So these are the area of strategic importance. We need to have roads here also. And who is going to build the roads? This is under Border Road Organization, BRO. Now BRO is responsible, it's a government of India undertaking. Now BRO is responsible for constructing and maintaining the roads in the border areas. And when we, first of all, this is of strategic importance, these roads, because we are sharing the boundary with the nearby country. That can be good also, that can be hostile also. So this becomes very important as far as strategic importance is concerned. And second thing is the economic development of that area. Wherever road is developed, or wherever there is a road, there will always be some economic development because of these roads. As I was telling you that NH7 in this book is given as the longest one, but we have NH44. It covers the north-south corridor of NHDP, and it is officially listed as running over 3,745 kilometers. So this I have taken from the internet, that is Wikipedia, from Srinagar to Kanyakumari. Now NH7 and others for 6 to 8 highways have been taken into this NH44. They have been combined. So now this is the longest national highway of India. Let me take you to all these places. Okay. So this is Srinagar. It has gone up to Uri. Now this is the north-south corridor. It comes up to Kanyakumari. This is the north-south corridor. And then we talk about the east-west corridor. This is the east-west corridor. It starts from Silchar, and then it comes up to the Porbandar of Gujarat. Then I'll show you the golden quadrilateral. So from Delhi, this is Delhi, right? We start from Delhi, and this road come up to Mumbai. This is one side of the quadrilateral. Then Mumbai to Chennai is another part of this side of the quadrilateral. Then Chennai to Kolkata, this is another side, third side. And then Kolkata again back to Delhi. So this is a golden quadrilateral. It has 4 sides, and it is connecting the 4 major cities of Indian region. Then all these others, if you see, these are all NH, National Highway with numbers. So these are all NH, right? So we talked about the Sher Shah Suri Marg. This is also there, NH8, NH15, all is there. If you see that we combine from this Delhi to Mumbai, we just talked about the NH, different NH here. So these are different kind of roads as you see. Now, when it comes to road density, what is the road density? I'll just show you, these are the hilly tracts. So it is very difficult to make a road, but still if you make a road like this, it is very beneficial for the local community also and for other purposes also, especially for trade. And these are the very hostile regions. This is traffic on northeastern border road, and as I said, BRO takes care of this. So road density is what? Road density becomes a very important aspect to understand how many roads are there. So you take an area of say 100 kilometer by 100 kilometers. So this is 100 kilometer by 100 kilometer area. Now if you take this area, how many roads are there? Say you have say 50 roads. I'm just taking an example. So this 50 will be the road density. If this 100 kilometer by 100 kilometer has say 1000 roads, now the road density of this will become 1000. Okay, so the length of a road per 100 square kilometer of an area is known as the density of the road or road density of that area. These numbers have changed, but just to get you an idea that the density of all roads is different. It is different in different places. If you go to Jammu and Kashmir, you will find 10 to 12 kilometers road density. But if you come to Kerala, Kerala is a very small state, but the population is quite high and the roads are quite high. So we have 375 kilometers. See the difference between 10 to 12 to 375 to 400. This is quite a high number in Kerala. So the road density is quite high in Kerala as against to the Jammu Kashmir region. So when we combine all these for a national average, it comes to 75 kilometers. It is quite old, but things have changed now. Then talking about railways. Now railway is the Indian Railway is the largest public sector undertaking in the country, and the first train was streamed, or it went from Mumbai to Thane, and the distance was 34 kilometers. So this is always being asked in 1853 it happened. So Mumbai to Thane first train, 34 kilometers stretch, and 1853 it was done. So this question is a general knowledge question. It is being asked normally. Now the distribution pattern of railway network in the country is widely and hugely influenced by various factors like the geographic factors, physiographic factor, economic factor, and also the administrative factor. So there are different factors that affects what kind of railway is there and what is the distribution or network of railways. That is, the Himalayan mountains, that mountainous region is not very favorable for construction of railway lines. If you have ever come to Mussoorie, there is a line being already surveyed by the Britishers, but still there is no train. But there was a train now from Jammu and this Udhampur area to Srinagar. So that has already been made in spite of being mountainous region. So the construction of railway, the factors come in is high relief, sparse population, and also the economic opportunities, right? So the northern plain, if you come to say Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, etc., they have very high population density, and Kolkata also, means West Bengal also. That is, these are the favorable condition for the various things. So that there are the construction of bridges are also there, and there are various obstacles, but the railway line can be constructed because of the population density and the idea of being people around there. They can travel, and also the goods can be transported from one place to another. I will give you the latest information. See, first of all, this information which the book has given, it is saying 150 years, and this is the Indian Railway network. Have a network of 7031 stations. Route length is 63,221. Fleet of 7817 locomotives, 5321 passenger service vehicles, 4901 coach vehicles, 228 170 wagons. This is the information of 2004. So I'll just try to give you the information which is right now. I've taken the information which is just now what we can discuss. Indian Railways. So Indian Railways, it is owned by government, and headquarters is at New Delhi, and the present railway minister is Piyush Goyal, and it gives the services of passenger services and freight services also, that is the good services. Apart from this, it is giving the service of parcel also, parcel carrier. Then the revenue is around 1.97214 trillion. Trillion is 10 to the power 12. And the net income is 60.14 billion. And started with British Raj, then come to Dominion of India in these 3 years. Then after Government of India after 1950. It is one of the largest employer. I'll tell you what number we have for the world. So it is 1.308 million. Billion is 1 million is 10 lakh. 1 million is 10 lakh. So in the book it is given, it is 16 zones, but it has already increased. We have now 18 zones depending upon the area, like northern zone, southern zone, southwestern zone, like this. So we have 18 zones and they have all their headquarters. Like the southern zone headquarter is in Chennai. So Indian Railway is India's national railway system operated by Ministry of Railways, Railway Mantralaya. We are 4th largest network in the world by size. The route length is 67,368 kilometers. The total track length is 1,21,407 kilometers. And Indian Railway runs more than 20,000 passenger trains daily. These are not passenger, they are passenger trains, 20,000, both on long distance and suburban routes. And the stations, 7349 station across India. We have different types of rails like mail and express trains run up to 50.6 kilometers. Then we have the premier trains like Rajdhani, Shatabdi. They touch a peak of 140 to 150 kilometers. Gatiman Express have been introduced from New Delhi to Agra, touching the peak of 160 kilometers an hour. Then we have a pilot project right now, Train 18, and the trials are going on between Delhi, Banaras and Lucknow, Delhi, and this has clocked the maximum speed of 180 kilometers an hour. When we talk about the goods, that is the transportation of goods, we call it as a freight segment. So Indian Railway runs more than 9,200 freight trains, Mal Gadi. The average speed is around 24 km per hour. The maximum speed of freight trains, it may vary 60 to 75 kilometers. It depends on various aspects. Indian Railway, as of the present scenario, consisted of 2,77,987 freight wagons, 70,937 passenger coaches and 11,452 locomotives. So the engines etc. come under these locomotives. It is world's 8th. Indian Railway is world's 8th largest employer. So we have 1.308. Again, let me tell you, million is 10 lakh. So you can just find out how many people are employed in Indian Railway. And by the present scenario, Indian Railway carried 8.6 billion passengers and transported 1.16 billion tons of freight, that is weight. Then the revenue, presently the projected revenue is 1.874 trillion. Again, trillion is 10 to the power 12 and consisting of most of the freight revenue. So the revenue is mostly coming from freight or the weight or the goods being transported, 1.175 trillion. And 501.25 coming from the passenger revenue. So we will talk about, we have already discussed about the Indian Railways, and these are different, let me show you. The broad gauge, this is the distance between the two tracks. If the distance between the two tracks is 1.6, we call it as a broad gauge. Metro gauge, it is 1 meter between them. And then we have narrow gauge, which is 0.762 to 0.610. So you will find different places, you will find different kind of railways here, and the route is given here. The pipelines. So there are 3 pipelines. Let me tell you the 3 pipelines first, and then we understand the content here. So first, you have to visualize that these dark lines are showing the existing pipelines. Then we have these dotted are the proposed pipelines, and this one shows the gas pipeline. So one of the pipeline is oil field in Assam to Kanpur via Guwahati, Barauni and Allahabad. So this is the pipeline here from Assam. It goes up to Barauni. This is Barauni. Then it goes up to Allahabad and via Allahabad to Kanpur. And one of the part of this gas line also goes from Baroni, or pipeline goes to Baroni to Rajband, and then we have this Mori, Gram and Haldia. This also is connected. The second one is from Salaya in Gujarat to Jalandhar. So it has Punjab via Viramgram and Mathura, Delhi and Sonipat. So this is the line we are talking about. This is the Viramgram, Salaya, and then it goes up to like here, and then finally to Jalandhar. In between also it touches various places. The third one is the important one, which is for the natural gas sending. This is gas pipelines from Hazira in Gujarat connects Jagdishpur in UP via Vijaypur in Madhya Pradesh. So that is why this is called as HVJ, Hazira Vijaypur Jagdishpur, Hazira Vijaypur Jagdishpur pipeline. So here we have this Hazira. It starts from the Bombay High, and this is Hazira, and then it goes to the places I just told you about, right? So this is a very important pipeline as far as the natural gas is concerned. Now pipelines, this is a new pipeline or you can say transport network. It's a new arrival on the transportation map of India, because generally we talk about the road, rail and airways, but here the pipeline is fixed. See, the pipeline is fixed, and the content here, it may be gas or solid also, it can be transformed into liquid form. So this is transferred from one place to another, maybe the place of production to the place of refinement or use. The initial cost of this laying of a pipeline is quite high, but once it is being established, the running costs are very less. Only maintenance cost is there. So it is used for transporting the crude oil, petroleum products and natural gas. And one more thing is there, whenever we have say a train, and then it goes to the content goes to the train to truck, and it goes to the final destination. So there is always the losses, that is the transshipment losses and the delays. In pipelines, we don't encounter any kind of or very minimal kind of losses and delays. Coming to the waterways. So waterways, that means we are talking about right now the inland waterways. That is, inside our country we have different rivers. We have different rivers, and these rivers are you can say they are regarded, or they are known as some of them are known as national waterways, which are very important as the lifeline of our economy. And these waterways are the cheapest means of transport, So they are able to carry heavy and bulky loads, big loads, and the most important thing is it is quite fuel efficient. That is, in less fuel the transportation of people and the goods can be done, and it is environment friendly also. That means it does not, that this kind of transportation does not create that much of say pollution, etc., that is harmful to the environment. It creates, but not that much as its contemporary transportation techniques. So let me show you here. These are the national waterways, and they are named properly. That is NH, the way NH was there, national highways, we have national waterways also. The national waterways, they are around 4,503 kilometers, but in total we have how much? 14,500 kilometers inland navigation. So in all we have 14,500, but the national waterways we are talking about, they consist of around 4,500 like this. So here let me start with the national waterway one. This starts from this is on Ganga, river Ganga, and it starts from Haldia to Allahabad. So here we have Allahabad, and here we have Haldia. So this is the waterway I am talking about, and the states being served are UP, Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal. Then we have this NW2, National Waterway 2, and this is on Brahmaputra river. It starts with Dhubri here, and it reaches up to Sadia. So Sadia to Dhubri, Dhubri to Sadia. This is 891 kilometers of stretch, and the states being served are Assam, West Bengal, Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya. Here we are talking about the NW1. It is around 16,020 kilometers. So around 15 states are being served of this total length 4,500. Then we come to the third one, which is the West Coast Canal. The endpoints are Kollam and Kottapuram. Kollam and Kottapuram, around 205 kilometers. The state being served is Kerala. Then the fourth one is the Puducherry Kakinada. This is Kakinada and this is Puducherry, or Pondicherry it was called earlier. So it is on Godavari. See, this is Godavari also. We have the Krishna also. This is a canal, so, and various canals, Godavari, Krishna canals. And this is 1078 kilometers. The states being served are Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and the Union Territory of Puducherry. Then the fifth one here is from Goenkhali to the Talcher. So this is Talcher and this is Goenkhali. So this is the 588 kilometer of stretch. The states being served are Odisha, West Bengal. It is on the Brahmani Delta canals, these from Goenkhali to Talcher. Then we have the sixth one, which is in process. It's not in place right now, but it's still under process. It is from Lakhimpur to Bhanga. Lakhimpur to Bhanga it is going to be made, and the states, it is around 121 kilometers. The states being served will be Assam, Mizoram, Manipur and Tripura. So this is about the inland waterways. Now, most of that is 95% of our export or trading is done using the sea. So we need to talk about the major seaport. We have a very, very long coastline, around 7,516.6 kilometers. So we have various major and various smaller ones of various importance. And we'll talk about this various places, Kandla and Marmagao, etc. just now. So these are the major seaports used or employed for the trading, for sending, that is the import exports of various goods. As we saw that the surface transport, that is inland water, or it can be the waterways of sea and ocean. So these are the very efficient and environmentally very friendly for transportation of goods and people. So let me take you to these. This is the map of our coastline. So this is these are the place we start from. We'll start with the Kandla. So we have certain words here, that is natural, riverine and artificial. So what is natural port, what is artificial port, and what is the riverine port? So what happens here is that whenever we have a port, the ship will come. Okay, the ship is going to come and it will stand here. That is harbor. Now, if this place is tidal, where it means it is kind of high tides, and all the chakravas, the things which happens in the ocean environment, if it affects here, the ship will not be able to stop here properly, and all these harbor will get damaged in due course of time. So this is not a very good idea, or this is not a very good situation to have a port where ship can stay, can get unloaded, offloaded and can move on. So what happens if you have a place where you have, say, the mountains here, and there is a very narrow place, so it is naturally being this place is naturally being secured by all the natural things which can happen. So the ship can come from this side, very narrow part. It can come here, it can stay here, it can do whatever activity is being done, and then it can move on, even the repairs. This kind of situation is ideal, and this is called as the natural seaport. Natural seaport. So if this kind of situation is not there, we can do it. Means if only this place is there and we have no other option to go, we can create some situation here so that the ship only comes like this, and all these tides and all those things, the wind fast moving wind, this can be stopped. So this can be done artificially also. So when this is done and a port is being made for a ship, this is called as the artificial port. This is an artificial port. And those ports which are on the they are employing the rivers like the Kolkata and Haldia. They are using Hubli river, and this river has to be quite deep, because on shallow water the big ships cannot move. So Hubli river, like this, those kind of ports are known as riverine ports. So I'll start with the Kandla. So Kandla is in Kutch. This is the Kutch. So Kandla in Kutch was the first port. Please understand, it is the first port developed after independence. Why? Because Mumbai port was, it was full. It was because a lot of trade was going on Mumbai port. So we need to ease out Mumbai port, because we already lost Karachi port after partition to Pakistan. So that is how Kandla came into being. Kandla is a tidal port. That is, it is handling, or it caters to convenient handling of exports and imports of highly productive granary, khadyan, and industrial belts stretching across the states of Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. Then comes the Mumbai. Here is your Mumbai. So this is the biggest port. This is the biggest port. Please understand, biggest port. Mumbai is biggest port, and with spacious, and it is a natural and well sheltered harbor. I told you about that. Then there, because Mumbai was overcrowded because of a lot of trading going on. It's a Mahanagar. So there was a port being made here at Nhava Sheva. The place is called Nhava Sheva, and this port is to again ease out the volume of trade on Mumbai port, and this port was called as Jawaharlal Nehru Port. Jawaharlal Nehru Port, specially made to decongest the Mumbai port. Then we have here this Goa. So Marmagao is the premier port for exporting of iron ore. So 50% of the iron ore goes from this place, Marmagao. Then New Mangalore port here in Karnataka, and this is exporting the iron ore which is coming from the Kundremukh mines. Then we come to Tuticorin. We'll come to Cochin just now, but we have to talk about Tuticorin. This is in Tamil Nadu. So it's a natural harbor. Please understand, Tuticorin, Tamil Nadu is a natural harbor. It's a rich hinterland, and variety of cargoes goes from here to different neighboring countries like Sri Lanka, Maldives, and coastal regions of India. Then coming to Kochi, it's a lagoon. It's on lagoon. That is, it's an extreme southwest. This is the southwest. So southwest port located at the entrance of a lagoon. That is why it's a natural harbor. Lagoon is like this. This is a place we call it as a lagoon. So it's a very special part of land and sea. Then Chennai is one of the oldest artificial ports of country. Chennai is oldest artificial port. This can be asked. So it is ranked next to Mumbai in terms of volume of trade and cargo. And then we have Visakhapatnam, deepest. Again, Visakhapatnam is deepest. Visakhapatnam is deepest, landlocked, well protected port, again for iron ore exports. And Paradip, here let's just come to the Paradip. We already talked about Visakhapatnam. Now this is in Odisha, and it is specializing again in iron ore. Then we have Kolkata here, and then supporting Haldia. Kolkata, this is an inland riverine port. I told you about Hubli. So it's an inland riverine port, and this port serves as a very large and rich hinterland of Ganga-Brahmaputra basin. It is a tidal port. It requires constant dredging of Hooghly, because if this Hooghly or Hooghly river is there, and whenever river goes to the sea, it has a lot of sedimentation in it. So that has to be cleared. That is, it requires constant cleaning or dredging of Hooghly, of the Gad, or you can say the sedimentation. Then this is the Haldia. Haldia port was developed as a subsidiary port in order to relieve the pressure at Kolkata. The way Nhava Sheva was made out of Mumbai, same is for Haldia to ease the pressure on Kolkata. So this is about the seaports in India. Coming to waterways, that means using the air for transportation purposes. It can cover very difficult terrain like the mountains, even the deserts, dense forest, and long oceanic stretches with great ease. The air transport was nationalized in year 1953, and Air India provides international air services. That is, it is a government, you can say, institution. And Pawan Hans helicopter, these are helicopter because there are certain places which are not very far, or you only require few people to go. And say if you come from Delhi to Dehradun, so Dehradun has an airport, but if you want to go to Kotdwar or say Pithoragarh, then there is no way. You either have to go by taxi or bus, etc. So if some strategic importance is there or some work is there, then the Pawan Hans will take you from here to here. So Pawan Hans helicopter provides helicopter services to Oil and Natural Gas Commission, ONGC. In its offshore operations, we have talked about the Mumbai High. These are inaccessible areas, or you can say difficult terrains like the northern eastern states and the interior parts of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. As I talked about Uttarakhand, Dehradun and Pithoragarh, etc. Now the most important thing which comes is you have to do a trade. When you want to do a trade, two people wants to do a trade. Say he is in UAE and you are in India. Now you want to do trade. If you don't talk, if you don't communicate, if you don't exchange the information, if you don't mail, email or WhatsApp calling or whatever you want to do, the trade will not be as efficient, as fast and as beneficial for both the parties. So whenever we talk about any kind of economic things, the communication comes very handy, or it's very important. Personal communication and mass communication, including the television, radio, press, films, these are major means of communication. So government now wants to say something about polio drops. Government wants to say something about the Notbandi, or say something about the new scheme. So the minister or the prime minister will come on the television or will say the things on the newspaper, and it will be published. So these are the kind of mass communication. The Indian Postal Network, it is the largest, please understand, Indian Postal Network is the largest in the world. So there are two types of mails being categorized: first class mail and second class mail. So this first class cards and envelopes, these are considered the first class mail. So they have to be handed quickly. The second class mail, like packets, registered newspapers and periodicals, these are second class mails. So in order to facilitate the quick delivery of mails in large towns and cities, six mail channels have been introduced recently. So let me name them. They are called Rajdhani channel, Metro channel, Green channel, Business channel, Bulk mail channel and Periodical channel. So India has one of the largest telecom networks in Asia. We are having a very good population, that's why, and because of the various companies giving the calling and data free, now the communication is very strong in our country. When we talk about tourism, India ranked world's 4th holiday heaven. This is just a newspaper cutting just to show that India has a lot to do with the Paryatan, tourism. So tourism as a trade. International trade, that is the trade between two countries. So let me tell you first about international trade, then we go to tourism. So the exchange of goods among people, states and countries, this is known as trade. Viniyam, exchange. So trade between two countries, it is called as international trade. Between two countries, it is called as international trade. So exports and imports are the components of trades. Ayat Niryat means sending the stuff and calling it or receiving it. So the balance of trade of a country is the difference between export and import. So export minus import is the balance of trade. So if you have more import, less export, more import, less export, that is, there is some problem. But if a country has more export and less import, then the balance of trade is okay. So when the value of export exceeds the value of import, it is called the favorable balance of trades, and otherwise means if the value of imports exceed the value of export, it is not very favorable. Now, tourism as a trade, tourism has proved itself as one of the most important aspect of India as a trade. Why? Because we have a very good stretch of latitude and longitude. So we have everything here. We have desert, we have mountains, we have plateaus, we have rivers, we have ocean, everything we have. We have culture, we have tradition, we have historic monuments. So tourism in India has grown substantially. It helped in the promotion of national integration also. It provides supports to the local handicrafts, local people, and it provides support to cultural pursuits also. So development of international understanding about culture and heritage is also related to tourism. So now what we have seen is there are certain ways, there are certain things which are, or the transport, especially the communication, the different type of trading, they are the lifelines of our country. And when the government and the people, when they are developing it or they are handling it properly, then the economy will grow.